lack of sleep over periods of time actually contribute to very serious medical conditions and can be life-threatening.
People went to bed when the sun went down. And if they did anything, you couldn't do much under candlelight, is that right? But insomnia is a huge problem today.
Dr. Barbara O'Neill knows just how frustrating sleepless nights can be. Insomnia grips millions of people around the world, leaving them fatigued, irritable, and struggling to focus. But what if I told you that, Doctor? Barbara O'Neill has a solution that could help you naturally and instantly fix sleeplessness.
Is that people with Alzheimer's, little amyloid plaques, in every case of Alzheimer's, they found little amyloid plaques, which are like little calcified deposits building up in the prefrontal cortex.
Insomnia isn't just a small inconvenience. It's a widespread problem affecting between 10% and 30% of adults at any given time. And half of us will experience insomnia at least once within the year. Dr. O'Neill highlights how modern life, especially our use of artificial lighting, has drastically disrupted our natural sleep cycles. Think about it. Before electric lights, our ancestors lived by the rhythm of the sun. Darkness meant sleep, but now, our exposure to artificial light at all hours is keeping us wide awake when we should be winding down. So, what does Dr. Barbara O'Neill suggest to combat this? It starts with understanding how our body naturally works. The pineal gland, located in the brain, is like the conductor of our sleep orchestra, producing melatonin, often called the sleep hormone. Melatonin kicks in when darkness falls, telling our bodies it's time for rest. But that's not all. Serotonin, another hormone, regulates our mood and sleep-wake cycles. Together with other hormones like arginine, vasotocin, and epithalamin, these work in harmony to ensure a good night's sleep.
When you go to bed in these hours, your natural painkiller is released. But your natural painkiller, when it's used, it leaves a waste. And if that waste hasn't been released, then the next night, arginine vasotocin won't be released.
But timing matters. Dr. O'Neill emphasizes that it's not just about how much sleep you get, but when you sleep. Certain hours of the night are crucial for your brain's restorative functions. Miss those key hours and your body feels the toll. That's why resetting our natural rhythms is the key to solving insomnia. Dr. Barbara O'Neill also reminds us that sleep is not just about feeling rested. During sleep, particularly in REM, which means rapid eye movement, and non-REM sleep, the brain performs essential functions. In REM sleep, your brain is actively dreaming, consolidating memories, and improving emotional resilience. Meanwhile, non-REM sleep is when the deep, restorative processes happen. And during sleep, the brain's cleaning system, known as the glymphatic system, gets to work, clearing out toxins like amyloid beta, associated with Alzheimer's disease. Insomnia. It's more than just sleepless nights. It can affect nearly every part of life. Dr. O'Neill frequently emphasizes that insomnia isn't just about not sleeping enough. It's about not feeling refreshed even after sleep. And that's where the real problem lies. People often wake up feeling groggy, unmotivated, and drained. But what's the cause behind these restless nights? When it comes to understanding insomnia, Dr. O'Neill reminds us that it isn't a one-size-fits-all issue. Stress plays a significant role. Whether it's a demanding job, family problems, or health concerns, stress can become the first step towards sleeplessness. But what makes insomnia even more challenging is its complex relationship with chronic health conditions. Conditions like arthritis or diabetes can aggravate insomnia, making it difficult for sufferers to find relief. She stresses the importance of a holistic approach to sleep disorders. Therapy, lifestyle changes, and sometimes medication are part of the solution, but she never forgets to mention the importance of addressing nutrition and mental wellness. You see, Dr. O'Neill believes that what we put into our bodies and how we manage our thoughts can greatly influence our ability to rest. A cup of coffee late in the day or the unresolved anxieties in our minds might be the silent culprits, robbing us of a good night's sleep. Veterans in particular often find insomnia to be a significant obstacle. Dr. O'Neill highlights how complex this problem can be for them. She doesn't just focus on sleep, but instead encourages veterans to look at their overall health, nutrition, fitness, and mental wellness. For her, insomnia is never an isolated issue. She stresses that a body in balance is a body that can rest. And for veterans, it means that the battle isn't only on the outside, but within their own minds and bodies. Dr. O'Neill speaks passionately about the types of insomnia people face. She talks about acute insomnia, which may last only a few weeks, and chronic insomnia, which can persist for months. But it's not just about the duration of sleeplessness. There's also onset insomnia, struggling to fall asleep, and maintenance insomnia, waking up too early or multiple times during the night. Dr. O'Neill often emphasizes that insomnia can spiral into a vicious cycle. For example, the more a person worries about not sleeping, the harder it becomes to actually fall asleep. This makes insomnia much more than a physical issue. It's also a mental challenge. Children, too, aren't immune to insomnia. Dr. O'Neill points out that kids can struggle with falling asleep, especially when they're overstimulated or anxious. She stresses the importance of routine and self-soothing strategies to help them develop good sleep habits. By instilling these practices early, she believes that many sleep disorders in adulthood can be avoided. And then there's the matter of aging. Older adults are often the most affected by insomnia. Dr. O'Neill doesn't shy away from discussing the domino effect that takes place as people age. Changes in circadian rhythms, retirement, and isolation can all contribute to poor sleep. But more importantly, she highlights how chronic pain and day-to-day health concerns can compound these issues, making a restful night seem like a distant dream. But no matter the type or cause, Dr. O'Neill consistently returns to one central point: there is always hope. Whether it's through lifestyle changes, therapy, or nutritional adjustments, she urges people not to ignore the symptoms of insomnia. Sleepless nights don't have to be a lifelong battle. She encourages individuals to seek solutions and remain hopeful, as insomnia, though challenging, is not unbeatable.
Cleaning up the waste. So these are the two things that happen in non-rapid eye movement time. In rapid eye movement time, this is where dreaming happens. No wonder the eyes are moving fast. The dreaming.
So how do we fix insomnia naturally? Dr. O'Neill provides simple, effective strategies. First, get plenty of fresh air and sunshine during the day. Exposure to natural light helps regulate your body's circadian rhythms, ensuring better sleep at night. Second, avoid stimulants like caffeine and sugar, especially later in the day. These disrupt your body's ability to wind down for the night. Lastly, prioritize getting those crucial 8 hours of sleep. It's not just about quantity, it's about quality.
Light and dark signals are fed through the optic nerve to a control center in the brain where your body clock is located. And the body clock communicates with the pineal gland. So sunshine in the day helps us to sleep better at night because it resets that body clock.
Dr. Barbara O'Neill also emphasizes the importance of regular exercise in improving sleep quality. It's not just about how much you move, but the type of movement that counts. Engaging in moderate to vigorous physical activity can reduce the time it takes to fall asleep and even lengthen your overall sleep duration. But poor sleep can reduce your desire to exercise, creating a vicious cycle. So Dr. O'Neill suggests that the best way to break this cycle is to get moving, even if it feels difficult at first. Once you get into a routine, your body will respond by rewarding you with better sleep.
What appears to happen is the dreaming that happens. Sorry, just not that. The dreaming that happens, have you noticed things from long ago, things you're thinking about through the day, all sorts of things come up. And it appears that that happens so that the brain knows how to file.
If you've ever felt sluggish after a big meal and tried to work out, you know the discomfort it can cause. Dr. O'Neill advises that while exercising before eating can be beneficial for short bursts of energy, longer workouts may require some fuel in the form of carbohydrates. But beware, don't jump into high-intensity exercise right after eating. Dr. O'Neill warns that doing so can interfere with digestion, leading to discomfort and even nausea. So, what's the right move? Dr. Barbara O'Neill suggests a gentle walk after meals. This isn't just an old wives' tale, it's a proven way to aid digestion. A light stroll can help prevent bloating and promote better absorption of nutrients. As Dr. O'Neill points out, our digestive systems benefit from this little burst of low-intensity activity. But what about high-intensity exercise? She explains that performing strenuous workouts too soon after eating can lead to digestive issues. The body shifts its focus from digestion to the muscles, leaving the stomach struggling to do its job. For those high-intensity enthusiasts, Dr. O'Neill recommends waiting at least 1 to 2 hours after a large meal before diving into your workout.
Because a huge amount of energy goes to digestion. So if you do, a gentle walk after you've eaten is fine, but if you're going to do the high intensity interval training and running up and down hills, a huge amount of energy is going to be pulled to your legs to get you up the hill, and the stomach's going to protest.
Next, Dr. Barbara O'Neill talks about the timing of meals and how it affects sleep. Did you know that having a heavy meal right before bed can disrupt your sleep? Your body is still working hard to digest that food, which makes it difficult to relax. Dr. O'Neill advises having your last meal 2 to 3 hours before bedtime to give your body a chance to wind down. She also shares a little secret: foods rich in melatonin and magnesium, like cherries and leafy greens, can help your body ease into sleep naturally. Dr. Barbara O'Neill understands that sleepless nights can feel like an endless battle. You're lying there, staring at the ceiling, wondering why sleep comes so easily to others while you're left with nothing but restlessness. It's an all-too-familiar cycle for many. The frustration grows as the clock ticks on, and you may even start to wonder if sleep is slipping further out of reach. Dr. O'Neill knows that insomnia often has deeper roots, whether it's stress, anxiety, or even a medical condition. The problem rarely exists in isolation. She believes that true healing requires understanding those underlying causes. However, she doesn't stop there. Dr. O'Neill also shares that it's entirely possible to ease into sleep quickly, even if the larger issue still needs attention. It's not about magic, she says, but about finding balance and using practical strategies. Barbara emphasizes is the power of deep breathing. It's simple but incredibly effective when done with intention. She often guides people to focus on their breath, taking in the air slowly, counting to 5, and then exhaling for another count of 5. It seems so basic, but in the quiet of those breaths, your mind can begin to calm. Dr. O'Neill mentions that many of us carry the weight of anxious thoughts into bed, whether it's the worries of the day or unresolved emotions. She believes meditative breathing can create a peaceful barrier between those thoughts and the restful sleep your body needs. In her calming way, Dr. O'Neill talks about the importance of creating a peaceful environment. The temptation to leave the TV on might seem like a comfort, but she advises against it. The mind is sensitive to sound, she says, and even background noise can keep the brain alert. Dr. Barbara O'Neill suggests that if external noise like traffic or neighbors is out of your control, consider using soft, soothing sounds. Whether it's the gentle hum of white noise or the calming rhythm of ocean waves. These little changes, she assures, can make a big difference. And hydration is another key factor that Dr. Barbara O'Neill doesn't let us forget. While staying hydrated throughout the day is important, drinking too much water just before bed can keep you waking up for bathroom trips. On the other hand, dehydration can cause discomfort, making it hard to fall asleep. The trick is, keep your fluids balanced and avoid large amounts close to bedtime. Dr. O'Neill knows that a racing mind can be one of the biggest obstacles to sleep. She recommends techniques like mindfulness meditation or journaling to calm the chat room in your mind before bed. Write down your worries and let them go. One other thing, keep your phone out of the bedroom. Dr. O'Neill stresses how the temptation to scroll through emails or social media can keep your brain buzzing when it should be shutting down.
And if you stay in the chat room, you'll never go to sleep. Hum hymns, songs. You can, what I do is I recite Bible verses. I've memorized some whole chapters. So I've memorized chapter 1, James chapter 1, and there's about 27 verses there.
Moreover, Dr. Barbara O'Neill gives us a big warning about blue light. The blue light from screens can block melatonin production, tricking your brain into thinking it's still daytime. To avoid this, Dr. O'Neill suggests limiting screen time at least an hour before bed or using blue light filters.
In the sunlight, there is blue light. And the blue light is absorbed through a little receptor site on our retina called melanopsin. And when blue light from the sunlight is absorbed through our eyes to our brain, it increases our ability to solve mathematical problems. It increases our ability to assess things.
When it comes to sleep, Dr. Barbara O'Neill speaks about natural aids like melatonin and valerian root. Melatonin supplements are often the go-to remedy for sleeplessness, but Dr. O'Neill cautions against relying too heavily on them. Overuse can cause your body to stop producing this important hormone on its own. Instead, she suggests talking to a healthcare professional if you plan to use melatonin long-term. O'Neill recommends valerian root. It's a natural herb known for its calming properties, helping people fall asleep without the risk of dependency. But, as she stresses, the best solution for sleep problems lies not in supplements, but in adopting healthy habits. Dr. Barbara O'Neill also highlights the importance of lifestyle changes, keeping a consistent sleep schedule, practicing relaxation techniques like yoga, and calming the mind before bed. These are the keys to long-term, sustainable sleep health.
I say to people that do night duties, do as little as possible. And definitely when your days are off, go into the early nights. And what some people find is that when they get home from night duty, they won't have anything to eat. They'll go straight to bed and they'll sleep 4 hours.
Through her simple yet effective tips, Dr. Barbara O'Neill offers us hope. By making small adjustments to our routines, whether through exercise, diet, or lifestyle, we can improve our sleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. Dr. Barbara O'Neill has shown that sleeplessness doesn't have to control your life. With simple natural steps, you can reclaim your nights and wake up feeling refreshed and energized. So if you're ready to take charge of your sleep, start making those small changes today, because better rest leads to a better life. For more life-changing health tips from Dr. O'Neill, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Your journey to natural wellness starts here.